Flipped classroom is one of the teaching learning model which has gained popularity in the recent times. So, what exactly is flipped classroom? In traditional classroom, the process is like that: we deliver lectures in the class, and we ask the students to solve the problem related to the lectures at their home. We call it as an homework. So we the process in the flipped classroom is just reverse. So we just give uh, the some accessible lectures which the students can go through at their home, and when they come to the class we ask them to solve some problems, and as a teacher we just guide them, or we involve them and we supervise them in solving those problems in the classroom. So the process is reversed: lectures at home and problem solving in class. Here in traditional classroom it was like lectures in the class and problem solving at home. How to implement flipped classroom? So the process is like that: you just have to create contents which can be in the form of audio, video, interactive presentation, or any other format. uh, we make those contents accessible through different mediums. Like for example, if you have contents in the form of videos, you can put it on YouTube and share it with your students. It can be in some in form of audio podcasts, which and the link of the postcard you can provide to your students. Interactive presentation, like if it is in the Google Slides, you can share those links of Google Slide with your students. So these even and you can also use like Google Classroom for sharing the contents. You can put all your videos and all interactive presentations and audios in the Google Classroom and make it accessible to the students. So this is a strategy of implementing Google Classroom. The simplest way of doing is like you can just create your video content using different software like OBS. You can upload those videos on YouTube, make it available through sharing platforms like Google Classroom, and maybe you can use social mediums like Facebook and WhatsApp for sharing the contents also. Make it accessible to the students. The strategy is like this. Now when they just go through the lectures at their home, uh, they come to the class, you ask them, you just give them some problems to solve. You involve them in some kind of discussion or some kind of project work or some question answering session. So in classroom, say they interact with each other and with the teacher, and they discuss about some problem, and they just you just involve them in some solving sessions. What is the requirement? The first and the foremost thing is like technology training. So if I ask you to create some video content, then you should know different software in which you can prepare your video content, and after that how to upload it on YouTube and other things. You should one should be one needs some kind of technology training for implementing flipped classroom. uh, what you can do, you can just start it with one lesson. So you can follow your traditional classroom, but you can if you want to experiment, then you can do just involve one or two session or one or two lesson in the flipped classroom model. Get feedback of that class from your peers and from your colleagues and your students, and improvise on that. What are the benefits of flipped classroom? So the first thing is contents is accessible anytime. So students can access those contents at whatever time they want, in the night or in day, in evening. This is one of the benefit of it. And self-paced learning. So students can access those contents anytime, and they can go through those contents any number of times, and they can if the content is the form of video, they can pause it, they can repeat it, so they can just learn at their pace. New generation students are very comfortable with technologies. They are quite comfortable, and they are tech savvy. They use mobile phones and laptops more than the previous generation. So this flipped classroom model can work for them. Students can come prepared in the class, so the lecturing thing is done at their home, so they have access the content. Now if they come to the class, you have some kind of discussion sessions, and you interact with students in different ways. So the model is different, and it works in most of the cases. Equal learning opportunities, in what happens in the traditional classroom in most of the cases, a teacher interacts with more confident student in the class. So more confident student, they just answer to the queries, they raise queries, and the interaction takes place in the classroom with more confident and fast learners. uh, but this is what happens, for weaker students, if they are not able to understand the concept, uh, they just fall behind, and the learning opportunity is not equal in traditional classroom in most of the cases. I'm thinking in most of the cases. But in case of flipped classroom, a weaker student can repeat the videos, they can also search for related videos on YouTube, and they can learn the concept at their home at their pace. And when they come to the classroom, they can raise queries, and they can just interact with teacher to understand the concepts which they were not able to understand with the video contents and other things. So there the opportunities is it's like a bit more equal in case of flipped classroom, if we compare it with our traditional classroom. It also lessens the need of private tutoring, as we discussed about weaker students. They, if they don't understand the concept in the regular classroom, they rely on private tutoring. And in case of flipped classroom model, this is like the private tutoring is like it lessens in comparison to when we follow the traditional classroom model.